Alright y'all, so in this video I'm going to see if my dark circles can be covered with this, the new Bobbi Brown color corrector stick, and I'm going to show you this in two different ways. One is going to be with the concealer blending brush and the other way is going to be with a beauty blender. So if you want to see if this works and which tool works best with this, please stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome to my video. It's CammyJOfficial, so let's start the show. My name is Cammy. Welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and get right to the video.
Alright, so as you can see, we're starting on a freshly washed face and we are up close and personal with my dark circles. So just showing you how deep my dark circles are and showing you that they go around pretty much the entire eye. So this is the Bobbi Brown Skin Corrector Stick, and I got this in the shade Very Deep Peach. So this is what it looks like outside of the package, and just to let you know, this retails for $32. So yeah, this is a very high-end color corrector in my opinion, and this is what it looks like when you take off the top. It has a very kind of like crayon-esque like appearance. So before we apply any products to our face, we always want to moisturize, and I'm going to be using the Cerave Eye Repair Cream to moisturize my under eyes. So I'm going to apply the 2 dots under my eye like so, and then just using my ring finger, I'm going to gently blend this in. As you can see, this moisturizer, it is creamy, but once you begin to blend it in, it just goes seamlessly into the skin, just creating a nice moisturized and hydrated base for which we can build upon with our color corrector and our concealer. So always moisturize before you put any type of complexion products on. So our under eye is nice and hydrated, so we are going to move on right now to the color corrector stick from Bobbi Brown. So I am just going to begin with a small amount under the eye, and I'm primarily going to focus everything directly over where I have the highest levels of hyperpigmentation. So as you can see, the color for this color correcting stick is spot on. This is very typical to the other color corrector colors that I would get, which is an orangey type of color. It says it's like a deep peach, but it's really giving like kind of that orangey kind of reddish color. So that's how much we put on, and now I'm going to dampen my beauty blender with just a spray bottle of water. Nothing too special there. Once I have made that damp, I am going to try to blend this in with a beauty blender. And I wanted to show you options because some people like a beauty blender and then some people like a concealer brush. So I wanted to let you know how it works either way. So after using the beauty blender, y'all, I kind of said, this needs a little more coverage. Of course, naturally, the beauty blender is going to kind of like pick up more product, but sometimes the beauty blender can give you like a beautiful finish and blend, which is why I wanted to try it. So one thing I can say about this Bobbi Brown color corrector skin stick is that it applies very easily. I'm able to tap it in and it looks good as I'm doing it. So I definitely feel like it is not something that is like really chalky. It definitely does not feel cheap on the skin whatsoever. So you're just going to see me tap that in and just apply as much as I think I need to build up that color correcting coverage. So now I'm going to grab that damp beauty blender again, and I'm just going to gently bounce that over the area where I have built up that color corrector stick, just trying to see how that looks. And I feel like once I did build up the coverage, it does look better, but you guys comment below and let me know. So I did notice that I do have a little more hyperpigmentation right there. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that Bobbi Brown concealer stick, put it there, and just gently again bounce the beauty blender to kind of, you know, make everything look as smooth and seamless as possible. So now that I have blended that in, I'm just taking a look, seeing how everything is coming together, and it looks pretty okay for right now. I did notice that the bridge of my nose, which has a very deep patch of hyperpigmentation, was not getting as much coverage as I would like, but that's okay. I'm going to try to build this up again, blend it in very gently, just tapping it in, not trying to, you know, move too much of it around. But this is what we look like after we've built it up and after we have used the damp beauty blender. So you guys, let me know what you think about how it looks. I still see a little breakthrough right there with the hyperpigmentation, but we are going to move on. So I'm going to use my concealer, which is the MAC 24 Hour Concealer in the color NC50. So I am just going to take a few strokes of that and just apply it right over top of that color corrector. I only use just like one dip. So whatever came out on the applicator is what I'm using. I'm not going in for multiple dips. This concealer is like one of my favorites. If you're new to my channel, then I'm telling you, if you see me color correcting, I'm often going to reach for this concealer. But I'm going to let that dry on my face for about 20 seconds so that the coverage can build up. Grabbing my beauty blender once again, I am going to blend this all in. So we can see just how beautiful this matte concealer is. I always sing its praises, but it is really marrying very well with the color corrector stick. Like even as I'm looking at it on camera, like looking at the playback, it looks really good and it looks like it's doing a great job of hiding that hyperpigmentation. So this is what everything looks like that we blended it in using the beauty blender technique. Let me know what you think. I think it's really doing a good job of hiding the dark circles. Like look at the side that's not color corrected with nothing on versus what we've done with the Bobbi Brown and adding that matte concealer. Now I do see that there was just a little bit more breakthrough of hyperpigmentation coming through, so I added just 3 more dots of the concealer and I am going to blend that in just to see if we can get some additional coverage and fully get everything looking as blended and as seamless as possible. Definitely wanted to make sure that there was an even amount of coverage here. So that is everything blended in, and I honestly feel like using the beauty blender side, it did take a little bit more, like I had to add a little bit more of the color corrector and stuff, but I still think that this looks pretty okay on camera. So now I'm going to grab my setting powder. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty setting powder in the color Honey, and I am going to just take this much on a brush, and using that, I'm just going to tap it in on the skin and blend in that powder so that way I can just get a little bit of coverage there. So this is what the completed beauty blender side looks like with everything set down and having our setting powder on. Let me know how you think this looks. I do see a little bit of breakthrough hyperpigmentation on the nose bridge, but let's go ahead and try this using the blending brush technique. So I'm going to be using my number 57 concealer blending brush from Sephora. I use this all the time to color correct. So once again, I'm going to apply that color corrector on freshly washed skin that has been moisturized. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I repeated the same steps off camera, and taking that color correcting stick by Bobbi Brown, I'm going to focus it on the points that have the highest level of hyperpigmentation first. Now taking that concealer brush, I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of water, and then I am going to use this brush to try to blend this in. Now guys, immediately I noticed that using the brush with this kind of like crayon like stick consistency is a lot better than using the beauty blender. I feel like I didn't have to use as much, so that's good, because for $32 you want to make sure that you're not, you know, wasting the product. So as you can see, I'm just going to apply it in the additional areas, making sure that I can build up that coverage. I feel like, again, using the brush, you are definitely going to save on how much product you're going to use, and it also seems to make it easier for you to like lay it down, blend it in without losing that coverage. But this is what it looks like, and as you can see, the nose bridge area, again, the hyperpigmentation is coming through even though we laid a layer of that down. So we are going to try to build this up again. I feel like for $32 she better be giving us some coverage, so I went ahead and added some more. And as you can see, the technique that I'm using with the brush, I'm just being very gentle. So even with like a second layer added on there, I still see the hyperpigmentation. But we're going to move on, grabbing that same concealer. I took one dip again, and I'm going to apply whatever came out on the applicator under the eye right over that Bobbi Brown color corrector. Now, one more time, grabbing that beauty blender sponge, I'm going to blend in the concealer over the brush side of the color corrector stick. Now, the concealer and this color corrector stick, I can honestly say they go well together, whether you are using the beauty blender to initially apply the color corrector, or if you like to use the brush to apply the color corrector. I feel like the coverage under the eye definitely is there when it comes to using the Bobbi Brown color corrector stick. So now that that is all blended in, I'm going to show you what that area looks like, and it is looking really good. Like if you were to look at my face right here, you wouldn't know that I had really bad dark circles. So it did a good job there. So for the bridge of the nose, we got to give it a little bit of extra care. That's why I'm putting that concealer on separately. And once that is on, I'm going to blend it in to see if, you know, we can get that coverage on the bridge of the nose. So just take note, if you are somebody that has hyperpigmentation that's even darker than me, then you really have to think about, is this Bobbi Brown Skin correcting color corrector stick, is it going to give you the coverage that you need, you know, for your dark circles? I feel if your dark circles are like my level and lighter, then I feel like this, you know, could be a go-to and work for you potentially. So this is what this side looks like, guys, once everything is done, once we've used the color correcting stick with the concealer blending brush and we added everything on top. I think personally that this side gave us a little bit more coverage, especially on the nose bridge when built up, than the other side, but I can still see the hyperpigmentation on the bridge of the nose peeking through, so it doesn't have too much coverage. But I did go ahead and grab that Fenty Beauty setting powder so that way we can see how everything looks with the powder blended in. But yeah, guys, this is it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing to my channel and clicking on that notification bell so you can see more from me. Overall, I think that this was an okay color corrector, but save your money because there are cheaper and better color correctors out there for a lot less. Until the next time, guys, bye.